Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Friday, May 13th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to do just that, to take a break from all the activities of your day and to just pause for a little while and breathe. During our time together, I take a passage of scripture and offer a few comments on it, and then use that scripture as some guidance for our meditation time. Today's reading is Luke 11:37 to chapter 12, verse 1. That's 11:37 to chapter 12, verse 1. Jesus has dinner at a Pharisee's house, and he gets asked about practicing the purity laws. He doesn't wash his hands. And that leads him to offer 6 different woes, 3 against the Pharisees and 3 against the scribes. The Pharisees want a strict observance of the law. In fact, they add up to it. They add more to it. So their first woe is they tithe the little things like mint and the herbs in the garden, but do not tithe justice and love. They don't practice justice and love. The second one is they like the seats of honor in the marketplace. They like to participate in the system of a society that has many different classes. And the third one is that where is the third one? The third one is, the third one is that they are like unmarked graves. They walk over, they make themselves unclean and don't even know it. That causes the lawyer to, speak up, a scribe or a lawyer, the ones who interpret the law, and Jesus immediately pronounces some woes on them. The woes he pronounces on them are, first of all, that they interpret the law and make it more and more difficult so that the average person has no way to keep up with it and can't ever do it in the life that they live. They have all of their time already spent up just getting enough together to feed themselves and to have a house. The second concerns the prophets. They built monuments to the prophets, and yet they are the generation that will kill the prophets, and they're responsible by building monuments and killing the prophets of their day for the death of prophets all the way back to the beginning of time. And the third is they have the key to wisdom. They could unlock wisdom for the people, but they never do it. And so the Hebrew scriptures are divided into the law, the prophets, and wisdom. So his woes say to the scribes, you're not offering anything. You are keeping the people away from all of the scriptures. So that's a lot. This is a long passage. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house, settle into a chair, close the door if the room has a door. Probably should have done that in a different order. And let yourself relax into that chair. And close your eyes and just breathe. As you breathe in the breath of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of the things that disturb your peace, all your worries and your fears, your anxieties, your deadlines, whatever it is that disturbs your peace. Keep breathing nice and deep. And imagine that God's Spirit is relaxing every part of your body. Start with your mind. Imagine that God's Spirit is present with you, because God's Spirit is calming your mind, stilling it. And then think about God's Spirit relaxing your face, your brow, the muscles around your eyes, your jaw. Think about God's Spirit relaxing the muscles in your neck. Feel them unwind, feel the muscles unwind. And then think about God's Spirit relaxing the muscles in your shoulders. If they're hunched, let them fall and relax. And in your arms. And in your hands. Let your hands open up. Think about God bringing relaxation to the muscles in your back and easing any pain you have there. Think about God's Spirit relaxing, coming to your chest. The deep breathing, calm, steady, deep, relaxed breathing. Bringing the Spirit of God into you. Breathing out all of the impurities of life. Your heart pumping, nice and steady, but resting. And then the Spirit of God comes and touches your stomach and your abdomen. The muscles in your stomach relax. Any agitations in your stomach are calmed. And then think about the Spirit of God coming and relaxing the muscles of your hips, your thighs, your calves, all the way down to your feet. In your mind's eye, go to a house in the time of Jesus. It's a Pharisee's house. They're the upper class people in society. Jesus has been invited for dinner, and you are there. The host, a Pharisee, notices that Jesus doesn't wash his hands and points it out, asks, how come? And Jesus says, oh, you Pharisees, you wash the outside of the cup and you think that makes it clean. That's not true. It's what's inside. You have to wash both the inside and the outside of the cup. I tell you, woe to you, Pharisees, you tithe the herbs of the garden, but don't practice justice and love of God and neighbor. Woe to you, Pharisees, you like the places of honor, and in doing so, you participate in the injustice of the classes in our society and the economic structures that set it up that way. Woe to you, Pharisees, you're like unmarked graves. People walk over them and it makes them unclean and they don't even know it. Suddenly, one of the scribes, one of the lawyers speaks up and says, "What about us?" And Jesus says, "Woe to you, lawyers. You lay burden after burden after burden as you make the law more and more and more difficult. And the people around here barely have enough time to make ends meet. They're working all the time. Woe to you, scribes, you build monuments to the prophets, but you participate in killing prophets. And by building the monuments and killing the prophets, you bring guilt on this generation for all of the prophets from the beginning to the end. Woe to you, lawyers, you have the key to wisdom, but you don't unlock the door. You have blocked people from every part of the scriptures. Everyone falls silent. The Pharisees and the scribes after the dinner are outside in a parking lot meeting, talking about how they're going to get Jesus. They're so offended and believe he's so very dangerous. But his popularity continues to grow as thousands crush in on him. Just sitting thinking about all of that. All that he said. What are the parts of what he said that resonate with you? As you sit and think about that, you're aware that suddenly that Jesus is standing there with you. And he offers to talk. For whom will you pray? What will you ask him in this moment? What do you need from him? What does he say in response? And what is his call to you in your life? I'll be quiet for a few minutes while you talk. And then the time comes for the conversation to end. If it's not long enough, you can press pause, or you can always come back to this conversation again. two of you say goodbye in whatever way is appropriate. And you allow that image to fade away and bring yourself back to the room where you are. Let's take a break, take a breath for Friday, May 13th. Our reading for today was Luke 11:37 to 12:1. There's a lot in there. You might want to break it down a little more, read it several more times, and think about where it resonates for you. If you have feedback for me, or if you want to talk or pray with me, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.